UniqueCarsAndParts.com.
Well, hello there. It's Liam from Unique Cars and Parts, and I hope you can hear me. I hope this microphone's working because we do have a chopper overhead. I'm with Holly and her 1927 Chevrolet. And Holly, no offence, but you're the last person I would expect to have an interest in a car such as this.
I get that reaction a lot, to be honest, but I just think he's gorgeous.
How long have it's a he, is it?
It's a he, yeah. I know cars are meant to be girls, but mine's a boy.
Yours is a boy. Now, what have you called he?
Charlie.
Charlie. And how long have you owned Charlie for?
We've had Charlie about 12 months.
Has he given you any problems, Holly?
Oh, he's given us a couple of scares, left us on the side of the road a couple of times, but he made it here this morning, a 2-hour drive.
A 2-hour drive from where?
From Emerald.
That's a hell of a long way to come into 1927. How does the traffic treat you when you're driving an old car such as this?
We get a lot of attention, we get a lot of waves and smiles. I think it's fantastic fun.
Well, I would certainly, there's perfect weather for it today to be getting out and about in something like this. Now, looking by the inside of the hub there on that front wheel, this does not have front brakes.
It does not have front brakes.
So you're reliant on about 20% of a normal car stopping power being the back brakes. They're drum.
They are drum, and it gets a bit scary sometimes.
How far back from the lights do you start slowing down?
When my husband starts squealing, that's when I start slowing down.
There's a lot of squealing done by the husband, I'm guessing?
Yeah, he's a bit nervous when I drive.
And you're the driver?
Yes, I'm the driver.
Okay, so now the accelerator, brake and clutch, are they mixed up or is it on the steering?
The accelerator, brake, clutch are all mixed up, so that...
The accelerator's in the middle?
The accelerator's in the middle.
Okay, and there's a throttle that you've got on the steering wheel, is that correct?
Yes.
And this is electric start?
Yes.
But I can see it's got the hole here ready for a crank, so in an emergency you could crank it?
Theoretically.
If I was to ask you to give it a crank now for our viewers, you'd do that?
No.
Say no. I wasn't expecting you to say yes. Okay, so did you buy it in this sort of condition or have you had it restored?
No, it came to us in this condition.
So you're just basically maintaining it?
Yes.
You're Charlie's new owners?
We're Charlie's new custodians.
Custodians.
Yeah.
Exactly. And what's the biggest run you've done in this particular car?
That would be today.
So the 2-hour drive today is the biggest one.
Yes.
And anything coming up?
There's lots of things coming up on the calendar, but nothing as far as Emerald to the city.
And Emerald's one of our favourite places. Now, there's a lot of car shows around that way.
There are a lot of car shows, which is why this is our biggest run so far.
So you're normally up in the Dandenongs doing car shows up there?
This is actually his first car show as well. So it's our biggest run and his first car show. It's a big day.
It's a big day, and it's too nice not to let other people see it and enjoy it. Is this all the original colours?
I believe so.
So we just, sorry for the distraction, we just had Julie Bishop walk past, but Holly's much more interesting to talk to, I think. And so if we go around your vehicle, if I have a look inside, I can see you've got an indicator. I'm assuming they're aftermarket indicators that have been put on the car.
Correct.
These are what we know as parking lights, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a two-stage headlight switch, I'm guessing. Does this have the normal high beam, low beam?
It does, although the high beam is not very high.
Well, that means the low beam is very, very low then.
The low beam is almost non-existent, so...
Okay, and inside you've got some very basic instrumentation. You've got what looks like a radial type speedo. Is that a switch over there a choke?
Yes, we've got a pull-out choke there above the light switch.
And these two switches here on the steering wheel. I mean, that's not your volume control.
No. One is the advance and retard of the spark. So I'll use that when we're starting the car.
Is that the left one?
No, that's this one. And then the other one is a hand throttle.
Okay, hand throttle. And what do you use that for? Can you use that to sort of accelerate and decelerate, or are you using the pedal?
You can use both.
Okay, I'm guessing you've got your hands full if you're using both, and it's quite involved. The gear stick sitting here, how many speeds?
We've got 3 speeds and reverse.
3 speeds and reverse. Well, that's like the old tree on the tree.
Yeah.
So Holly, tell me, there's a bit of a story behind why a 1927 Chev, is that right?
There is a story. So my grandma, who's still with us, she was telling us a story one day about how she remembered when her dad got his first car, the family car, and it was a 27 Chev.
A 27 Chev. Your grandmother's first car was in a 27 Chev.
That was her dad's first car, so my great-grandfather. And so she told us lots of stories about how she remembered going out for picnics and they would strap all of the picnic gear along the side of the car. And when Auntie would visit, Grandma would have to sit on a crate in the back of the car so everyone would fit.
So how many kids were there in the family?
6 in the family.
And 2 parents?
Yes.
So this car took 8 people?
Yes, and Auntie. So 9.
9 people?
So 9, yeah.
I don't understand where 9 people could fit, to be honest with you.
Well, I know that the smallest child was in the front with the parents.
Okay, that's 3.
That's 3, and then everybody else fitted in the back somehow.
That is remarkable. And your grandmother was on a crate?
Yes, yeah. When Auntie came to visit, she had to sit on the crate because she didn't fit on the seat.
And what did your grandmother say when she saw this after you'd bought it?
She was very excited to see it, and at Christmas we pick her up and took her for a drive in it, and she was just thrilled. She loved it, and it brought back so many memories for her.
Now, a 1927 Chev is a fairly particular sort of car to be going to buy. I can't imagine that you just sort of look this up on Unique Cars and Parts Classifieds or another car website and find them. How did you come across the exact model, the exact year?
My husband spends an awful lot of time on the internet looking at different cars, and over the time we've been married he's shown me, I think, millions of cars, and everything from Mustangs and 70s Fords and all the way back to vintage cars, and we could never really decide. And then when Grandma told us this story about the 27 Chev, we went, well, while we still have her, that makes the decision for us. We'll get one, and then we can take her out for drives in it. And as soon as we bought it, my mother-in-law said, would you believe my dad had one of those too? So my husband then said, well, that's it, we can never sell it because we were destined to have a 27 Chev. Both families had them.
So Charlie's going to stay in the family until the next custodians come along, which will be your children maybe, or...?
I hope my children would like to be the custodian of Charlie. I hope that I get to drive it for many years yet.
And so that explains how you came to decide on getting a 27 Chev, but how did you find this particular 27 Chev?
Well, this particular one was from Adelaide, and there's a dealership in Adelaide that specialises in vintage cars. So they actually had 2 27 Chevs for sale, and we were interested in the other one that they had, and by the time we'd agreed on, we're going to take the plunge, that one was sold. And so we purchased this one, sight unseen, got it trucked over here last Christmas.
It's another person that's bought a car sight unseen. It seems to be a bit of a trend. I've done the same thing myself. You trucked it over with a trucking company?
Yes.
Yep. They were able to get it onto the truck, obviously.
Yeah. The driver said it was the oldest car he'd ever transported, and he was really excited, but he got it off the truck safely. It was pretty nerve-wracking, but we were thrilled when it came off the truck. It was better than we expected.
Okay, and what was wrong with the first one that you were keen on?
There was nothing wrong with it. We liked it. We just I think it was red. I just liked the red one. But by the time we had organised our finances and everything to put an offer in, it had gone. So
they're obviously popular.
They must be popular, but we're very happy with what we ended up with.
One thing I can guarantee you won't lose any money on it.
No. We're not going to sell it. It's staying.
Excellent. So your grandmother's been in it. What did she think?
She was just thrilled. She loved going in it, and it brought back even more memories. So we went out for lunch with her, and she spent lunch reliving these memories. Her memory's incredible.
Now, to relive the memories, I'm assuming you put a crate on the back here and you made her sit there. Is that right?
We let her sit on the seat. We were very kind. I was very impressed with how agile she was getting into it. She's 92. And, she walks with a walker, but you get her to the car and she just popped right into it. So.
Second, like riding a bike.
Must be.
Yes. And she got to sit in the seat for once.
She got to sit in the seat, and she felt, felt very special.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Holly, for telling us that story. It's been fantastic. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.